Hey guys, welcome to Carter Covers, and it's time for Saint of the Day. Today's Saint of the Day goes to several saints actually, because most of the world celebrates St Bernadette's feast day today on April 16th, with the exception of France, who celebrates it on the 18th of February. As well as other saints of the day are the 18 Martyrs of Saragossa and St Encratis, or Engratia, Virgin Martyr. So I'm going to start off with St Bernadette. St Bernadette was born in 1844 to a destitute family in Lourdes, in France, on the 11th of February 1858. She went down to the river Gave with her sister and friend to look for firewood and bones. There she received the first of a series of visions of the Mother of God, which led to Lourdes becoming a place of pilgrimage and healing. In 1866 she became a nun at Nevers, where she died on the 16th of April 1879. It is a rule of the Church that saints are to be celebrated for what they are and what they did, and what they did and what they do to serve as examples for heroic virtue for us all, not merely for what happened to them. There's no way that we can go off and have visions of Our Lady, and the world would be a madhouse if we tried. So what of Bernadette? What heroic virtue has she that we should imitate? There are two: suffering and humility. Bernadette was seriously ill with asthma all of her life, and she died young, but she never let illness be an excuse for anything. How many times do we feel a little unwell and use that as an excuse for being bad-tempered or simply not doing what we ought? To move away from Bernadette for a moment, imagine that you are a poor working-class boy with little education who happens to be good at kicking a ball about. Within a few years, you find yourself earning more annually than your father earned his entire lifetime. You receive attention, adulation, status, all that you could possibly desire. People emulate you. They hang on your every word. How would you feel? How would you act? Next, imagine that you are a poor girl, not even working class, because your father hardly ever has any work. Poor in a way that we can hardly conceive of. Unintelligent and uneducated, and suddenly something happens to you. Overnight you are famous. People come in crowds to see you. Sometimes the police have to control them. Everyone treats you with respect and admiration. They hang on your every word and ask you over and over questions about even the tiniest detail of your life and experience. They press coins into your family's hand. You shut yourself up in a convent far from home, but even there you are constantly visited by bishops and other eminent people who just want a quick look at you. Wouldn't that turn your head just a little? Wouldn't you think that there must be something about you that made you worth seeing, however tiny that something was? Here's Bernadette's response in conversation with one of the nuns. What do you do with a broom? Why, sweep with it, of course, and then put it back in its place. Yes, and so for me, Our Lady used me. They have put me in my corner. I am happy there, and stay there. Saint Bernadette is patron saint of the sick, and rightly so. But if there is to be a patron saint of celebrities and footballers, Bernadette would be a wise choice for that task as well. Now for the 18 Martyrs of Saragossa and St Encratis, or Engratia, Virgin and Martyr. St Optatus and 17 other holy men received the crown of martyrdom on the same day at Saragossa, under the cruel governor Dacian. In the persecution of the Dialectan in 304, two others, Caius and Cremitus, died of of their torments after a second conflict. The Church also celebrates this day in triumph of St Engratis or Engratia Virgin. She was a native of Portugal. Her father had promised her in marriage to a man of quality in Marseille, but fearing the dangers and despising the vanities of the world, and resolving to preserve her virginity in order to appear more agreeable to her heavenly spouse and serve him without hindrance, she stole from her father's house and fled privately to Saragossa, where the persecution was hottest under the eyes of Dacian. She even reproached him with his barbarities, upon which he ordered her to be long tormented in the most inhuman manner. Her sides were torn with iron hooks, and one of her breasts was cut off, so that the inner parts of her chest were exposed to view, and part of her liver was pulled out. In this condition she was sent back to prison, being still alive, and died by the mortifying of her wounds in 304. The relics of all these martyrs were found at Saragossa in 1389. So that covers it for Saint of the Day. Please like, share, subscribe, spread the word. Thanks guys, I'll see you tomorrow.